It's pumpkin season, y'all. I'm getting ready to decorate for fall. These are Walmart pumpkins that I just painted the base coat in Fusion mineral paint in the color limestone. Then I took an OD Trimmings 1 mold and decided which one I wanted, and I applied cornstarch into that one. And then I took my DAS, I guess that's how you say it, DAS, air dry clay that I get at Hobby Lobby, and I rolled that out and just worked that clay until I got it about the right size. And then you just press that into your mold. And I find rolling my hands, sometimes with some of the daintier ones, I'll take a straight edge and go across the back, but I didn't have to do that with these. I did take a lot of time with my cleanup on this. I knew I was going to have to cast 4 of these, and I needed a really clean mold every time. And now we roll it out, and that is such a satisfying moment. These OD molds are absolutely stunning, and I love to see that clay roll out of that mold, and you see just how detailed and beautiful they really are. Then I took my Top Bond Quick and Thick after I had 4 of them cast, and I painted the back of those with Top Bond, and you want to make sure to get all the way to the edges to ensure you have a good contact with whatever your project is that you're working on. Then I took my palette knife and I cut off the bottom right where those little ridges end because I wanted it to sit nice and flat whenever it was ready. And then I kept that little piece I cut off, and I put those long pieces all the way around. And then I took the shorter pieces and I did the same thing with my Top Bond Quick and Thick, and I glued those in between. And this is how it looked when I got all the molds on. I let that crust for just a little while, maybe 30 minutes, and I did give it a complete coat of the Fusion mineral paint in that same limestone color. It has a built-in sealer in it, so that makes this next step much simpler. I had to mix those 2 colors, that bright orange and a brown, to get more of a rusty orange that I wanted. I didn't have that color in my stash. And then I used that turquoise. And I was just, that was watered down paint. And then I would apply it and use my mister to let that run and drip a little bit. And then you just dab it off and catch it with your paper towel or whatever. After that dried, I used my Dixie Belle Van Dyke Brown glaze, and I covered the whole thing. And it did take a little bit because there's a lot of detail in those molds coming down, and I wanted to make sure those deeper parts had plenty of that glaze in it so you could really see that detail stand out. And then where I took my little stem out of that, the hole was a little big, so I just rolled me up a little piece of clay and put it in there. And I tried 49 ways to Sunday to make the tops work, and I was going to put knobs in it, and that just didn't work. So I used the olive crest mold again, and that's not what I did on that big one. But I used the olive crest mold, the leaves, and they have little olives hanging on them. It's a beautiful mold. And then I painted that. I know this looks bright, but it's a spring green. And I needed it bright because I knew I was going to mute that down. And I didn't want the color to get muddy. So I did the same thing. I applied those. and put the Titebond Quick and Thick on the back and let that dry good. And for my larger pumpkin, I did something a little different. I just changed my mind. I rolled out some air dry clay, and I used a biscuit cutter and made me a little circle light to go around it. You'll see that in a minute. But I'm just dressing up those leaves. There's my biscuit cutter. And I used that and I painted it in that bright green. And then I used some of that orange color that I mixed up and went around the edges. I did stamp that little disc with a leaf stamp that I had, just a little cheap one. I don't even know where I got it, but it was just a little leaf design. In the end, you can't really tell, but it does have some texture to it. And there's me filling that hole, and I gave it a little coat of paint. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I tried those knobs and couldn't do it, so I just made me some stems. And this is simple. If you're picky like me, it's a little time consuming because, I try to get everything right. But I took aluminum foil and kind of cut it on a little angle and a piece of floral wire. And you just wrap it, and I made it thinner at the top. And, as I got to the bottom, I had to add some, and I flared out the bottom. Then I tested it on one of my pumpkins, and with that wire in there, you can twist it around, and it holds its shape really good. So I did that, and got me two made just, that I liked, and I thought they were cute. And then you can just paint that aluminum foil. And I used like a dark brown, a black, and a ivory color. And I just splotched those colors around. I painted most of it brown to start with, and then I added the black and the cream. And then that piece of wire hanging off the bottom, that just allows you to go down into that styrofoam under those pumpkins. And here they are finished. I think they turned out really nice, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a good time making them, and I'll probably make more. Let me know if you tried. I do thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment or just a thumbs up will do. I'll see you on the next time.